All right, welcome to the Client Spotlight series here with the fabulous Jacklyn Hammond. Welcome, Jacklyn. How are you?
Hi, Julie. Doing really well. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate being on here with you.
I'm so glad you're here. Well, tell us a little bit about your story. Tell us, obviously, we know your name, where you live, what you do, who you love to help.
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, my name's Jacklyn. I live in Louisville, Kentucky. I, well, let me just back up because if you would have asked me this question 6 months ago, the first thing I would have said is give you my title.
I love that you just paused. I love this.
Pausing right there to say, okay, first and foremost, I would say I'm a super curious person. I am a deeply sensitive soul, and I would call myself a wholehearted healer. I really like to help people who have been told they're past helping and who have this deep sense of kind of feeling broken and like they are out of options essentially. So that's my favorite person to help. And I do that through my business and my skill set as a doctor of physical therapy. So yeah.
I love it. So tell me a little bit about your story as a business owner. So you weren't always a business owner, I'm assuming, as most people aren't who we work with. What kind of got you going into business?
So I've had this little idea in the back of my head for a couple of years. And I kind of kept flopping around to different settings as a physical therapist. So I went from a traditional outpatient orthopedic setting to being a travel therapist to being PRN, or like as needed for several different companies in town. I think in search of something that I really wanted, which was a bit of freedom and the ability to help people in the way I wanted to. And so that was kind of in my head several years ago, and I just kept searching and searching. And then I would say COVID hit, and it kind of forced me to say, okay, well, I've now lost my two PRN positions, and I can either look at this as, oh my God, what am I going to do? Or take this as an opportunity to say, okay, let me create what I've been looking for. And so I really tried to take that option and move toward creating a vision of something. And at the time, I don't really think I knew what it was. And honestly, lurked in your group for a while.
A lurker. I love lurkers.
I was a huge lurker. And I was definitely trying to collect all of this information on my own and trying to figure out how do you actually make a business work versus what I've seen. And found that was very difficult. And finally got brave enough to reach out to you. I think I did your Powerful Planning That Pays program. I think that was kind of my intro to actually interacting with you, and kind of haven't looked back since.
That's awesome. That's right. You did the challenge, the Planning That Sticks challenge, and then Powerful Planning.
Yes.
And then from there, you joined level 2, right? The Be the Boss level 2 program.
Correct.
Okay. So you were looking around, trying to piece it all together on your own. I'm so guilty of doing that in my past. I don't do that anymore. I've learned my lesson. It's just like, let someone shine the light for you. And so how did that feel when you were piecing things together on your own?
Incredibly stressful. I was constantly feeling like I was missing something. I was like, oh, maybe if I just look a little bit harder, I'll find whatever that missing piece is that makes it work. And so super frustrated. I already have struggled with anxiety and stress for years, and so that really fueled it. That just kind of
pile on some more.
Yes, I mean, it was me kind of trying to emulate what I saw other people doing, I guess, instead of really doing what worked best for me. So it just led to this anxiety spiral where I was just constantly searching for the next thing that would just keep me afloat, versus having an actual plan and some guidelines to follow, and even just the information from my own intuition to guide me. I just felt like I was totally detached from that, just doing whatever anyone else said worked. It didn't matter what kind of business they had. I was like, that person said this works, let's try it. Nope, didn't work. Let's move on to the next thing. Oh, still didn't work. Let's move on to the next thing. So it was a lot of chasing my tail.
Chasing your tail. Oh, I love what you said about too, like what worked for other people wasn't working for you. Of course it didn't. I love too how that kind of parallels your search for the perfect job in all of the other places. And of course it was all right here, you know, like it was within you to just create it. It's so interesting.
Absolutely.
So what would you say? So you joined the program, the level, you did powerful planning, then you joined level 2. What was going through your head between those two things to join level 2? Like, were you scared? Was there any emotions coming up, or were you like, I'm in, like, whatever?
There was a little bit of both. So after doing the Powerful Planning That Pays workshop, I had probably the most clarity that I've had since I opened my business. And I finally felt like, oh my gosh, like I can see how this could actually work versus just, again, trying to survive. And so there was definitely this little voice in my head that was like, this could be what you need. This could be how you create a business and don't just fail at having a business. And so that was a really powerful voice there. But I did learn that I have some pretty strong, issues with finance and a lot of feelings coming up around finance. And so there was definitely the little voice there as well, like, you can't afford this. And just how are you going to find the money to do this was probably my biggest issue. Yeah, and I think that I was looking at it a lot from the perspective of this is a cost versus this is an investment in myself. Because I hadn't really, prior to that, ever really put a lot of value on investing in myself. I'd always invested in courses or other things, or again, things that other people could
Here
do.
it is again.
Yes, this is a theme for me. So I think that I had to kind of have a lot of internal discussions with myself about, like, I'm worth investing in this because I can make this work if I have the right guidance. So obviously the positive voice won out in that one, which is great. But yeah, there was definitely a little positive, a little negative in there. And so just figuring out which one was more the driver of my bus is really what I had. Yeah.
Well, a couple of contrasts here, right, that you brought up is, number one, cost or a loss. Really, this is a loss versus it's an investment and a gain. It's a gift, and in our world, we exchange the way that we invest is with physical, money, like numbers. Like it's in a computer now. We don't even see the money, but
currency.
Currency. And sure, it could be a loss, especially, I could see that the mind thinking that, the human mind, because how many things, like, especially with courses and things, have you spent money on and you're like, I don't even use that? A lot of them. It's not a loss.
I have all the skills.
I do too, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you gain knowledge and you gain skills, but you don't use them. And I could see the mind being like, oh, I'm gonna lose more money and not use anything. But what you said too was, this is an investment in myself. And what really, it's you were confident that positive voice was like, I can do this. I'll make it back. Okay, let's do it. Right? I need the support in order to do that.
Yeah.
And so this is just what has to happen for that to work. I love it. Mm-hmm. So often we think it's the money problem, but really it's a confidence problem, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, for me, which again, just working through the level 2 program, the mindset shifts have been like the biggest thing for me. But I mean, even just from day one, right there, it was like you said, it was, is this a money problem, or is this more of a deeper internal, this is a confidence in myself problem. And I think literally that highlighted it for me like that very first day. And so once I made that initial investment, I think it really helped me to immediately gain a little confidence in myself. Like, okay, well, I just proved to myself that I am worth this value, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
I love that.
yeah, it kind of was like a nice little springboard to allow me to feel like I can invest in myself in other ways, like, taking time out of my schedule for my mental health or for my physical health. And so those are things that I have been neglecting heavily just to make my career successful instead of my life successful. And so, like I said, it turns from like, oh, this is a cost to, okay, this is just an investment in my life as a whole. And so it's been, like I said, huge mindset shift. Yeah.
Wow.
Really
Well, you
big.
kind of just answered my next question, which is like, what are the biggest upgrades you've seen in life? And that's so true. When we step into that level of confidence in ourselves, it spills over into every other thing. It's like you can't go back. All right, here I am. I've arrived at that next level of confidence. And all right, I'm going to also say no to this. I love how you're taking time out of your schedule to take care of your physical and mental health, which is also comes back around is required to be successful in business. It's like, oh, what a beautiful circle you're in.
Absolutely.
So beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the biggest upgrades in my life has just been learning to value myself and recognizing that, like you said, it spills over from one category to the other. So I can't just spend all of my time working on business all of the time. Because ultimately that leads to me being overwhelmed and stressed and freaking out and then shutting down. And
So
so,
true.
yeah, so I feel like still learning, but have learned to, I don't know if I like the word balance, but really balance my life out in a way that just feels good. Like, I don't feel like I'm having to, escape from my job
Oh,
anymore.
I love it.
Yeah. So that's been
Ah,
huge for me.
imagine that. Your job's just part of your life and it's just
Right.
joyful and, flowy and
Yes.
awesome. So let's actually talk about your job a little bit. First, we could just end it right here on life upgrades. And, I think
All
that's
around
a
my
beautiful spotlight on you.
Yeah.
But tell us maybe like the three biggest upgrades you've seen in your job, in your business.
Yeah. So I would say that, I mean, the most obvious and easy one to say is my revenue. That's been huge. I was struggling for about 6 months on my own, trying to slowly build, and I would have 2 clients one month, and then the next month I would have 3, and then I'd go back to 2. And I mean, I was struggling to make ends meet and having to work a hospital job in addition, and probably making about 1,400 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last 6 months, I've gone up to making about 5,000 a month, which is
Wow.
like, I think like over 3 times what
More
I
than
was.
triple.
Yeah, more than triple. And it's easy. And then I'm like, I see maybe 10 to 15 patients a week. So I'm not stressed, I'm not overwhelmed. And it's just coming a lot more effortlessly. So I don't feel so strained about it. I don't feel grabby about it. I'm like, I know it's coming. I'm doing the right things and my people will find me. So that's been a huge upgrade for sure in my business.
No doubt.
A lot of stress in other areas, obviously. I would say another huge upgrade in my business has been that I've learned to set boundaries with patients.
Mm.
That's been massive. Initially, I was I mean, I was seeing people at all times of day, like sometimes 7 p.m., sometimes Saturday morning. You know, if somebody texted me and was like, I need an appointment now, I was like, absolutely, drop everything and go. And I have significantly reeled that in, and it's done a few things. So now I don't see clients on Mondays. I just do administrative stuff, or anything personal that I really need to catch up with or touch in with. And I see clients Tuesday to Friday, and my last patient is at 4. And so after that, I'm not answering the phone. I'm not sending emails. I'm shut off, and I am enjoying the rest of my day.
Aww.
And doing that has, one, helped me to, again, not feel overwhelmed, not feel stressed, not feel like this is something that's like running my life. But it's also surprisingly helped me to attract more clients.
Of course it has.
Yeah. So
they all want a life like that too.
Yes.
Yep.
As soon as I started setting those boundaries, I started immediately getting more people, and it felt great. Like, this is something that feels good for me. And I think other people can tell that this feels good and that I'm happy, and they want to be a part of that. And so,
Wow.
Yeah, that was a big one.
They want a piece of that. Yeah. I just want to pause you right there. I want to hear your third thing.
Yeah.
That you set boundaries and you said no to clients. And as a result, you got more clients.
Yes. Crazy.
Everybody listen to that. Take notes right there. That's amazing.
Please, right there. I mean, that was probably the scariest thing for me to do. Like, I've never set boundaries in my whole life, like with anyone. And so to do that in the situation where it's my income and my livelihood, I was like really freaked out. And so that was super, like, a big thing for me to say, oh, I can create this boundary to get what I need, and still help people and not feel like I'm being a bad therapist or a bad business owner because I'm not just like constantly available to people, because that was a huge fear for me when I first started out.
Yeah, you're not alone with that.
Yeah, it was big. I was like just a little bit freaked out by it. And by a little, I
Makes sense.
I mean definitely freaked out by it.
Oh, so, well, you did it.
Yeah, for sure. And then I guess the last thing that I think, well, not the last thing, but another thing that's been a really big upgrade for me is really just gaining clarity on what my actual point of view is. So when I first started, I think that I was, again, saying yes to everybody, trying all the things, and really kind of doing so unsuccessfully because I don't think I really knew what my point of view was and who I really felt like I could help, because I was, again, in this mindset that I have to take everybody, I have to do everything, otherwise I'm going to fail. And so I know we worked through that a lot as far as, you know, why I'm doing what I'm doing and how that can just translate over into finding people who are a better fit for me. And it makes my work way more enjoyable because I'm not constantly dealing with people who just drain my energy and don't align with my values. So I think that's been big for me.
Oh, I love that you brought up the messaging piece, which that's the point of view. POV is what we really, we go over that in the level 1 program, but really we get it like honed and polished in level 2, and it extends over into all of your marketing from there. And what I love that you've really taken us through is you upgraded your confidence and your mindset, and also your like time and money management in so many ways, revenue, obviously, and then also like boundaries. And what's so interesting, this is actually the order we teach, like our SHINE method, which is our methodology and the programs, which is, you know, soul first, then hone your time and money, and then your message and your how you verbalize or like your brand, like your personality, how that shows up just follows your life practices. And then it's so much easier to say to people in very clear and connected ways what you do, and you'll start to therefore attract people who are just like you, right? And want the life that you're creating, not your life, but their own version of that.
Right.
And so how does that look? So your clients now, you know, you were struggling to get 2 or 3 a month, and you've got 10 to 15 a week now, which is amazing. Big upgrade. Who, like, are they soulmate level clients? You know, how is all of that feeding into all that together?
So I would say that I wouldn't say that all of my clients right now are soulmate level clients, which again, I think was a hang up for me because I was thinking, oh, if I put out this specific point of view, then can I still help other people? And I realized obviously very much so. I would say probably about 75% of my clients
Nice.
are pretty up there as far as, you know, we share similar values and I mean, we want similar things out of life and we want to feel that way. We don't want to feel like we have to be limited in our activities or what we do with our families because somebody put a label on us. And so,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I would say about 75%. The other 25% are, I would say, just word of mouth referrals from those people. And
That
so
makes sense.
they are their friends and they are their family and they are people who come in, I think, already with a little bit higher level of trust with me because I've already made that connection with my soulmate client. And so that person has nothing but good things to say about me because we connect on a deeper
Of
level.
course.
And so, yeah, that other
Oh,
25% is more like my overflow, I think, from my soulmate clients. And so, I still really love working with them. We just, you know, we just don't connect maybe on that same
well,
exact
not
level.
everyone has to be your bestie. Yeah,
Correct,
for sure. Mm-hmm.
correct. But we still, I would say we still have that connection of that soulmate client. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of all strung together in this weird web in that way.
Beautiful web.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah.
and you've really touched on the marketing process too of you don't have to talk to everyone in your messaging, and you can still help other people. And I love that your diverse clinical background, you can tap into that. You tried all these jobs and now you have all the skills and all the knowledge, and you can still help all the people, but you don't have to market to all the people and therefore exhaust yourself and keep trying things that don't work, you
Yeah.
know. Hmm. So as far, and honestly, what's really cool is you haven't been in the level 2 program all that long, you
No.
know, in terms of seeing the shift in all of these things. And so it doesn't have to take forever to build up your caseload and get that percentage of soulmate level clients and all of that just by upgrading a couple of little things that you did. When you joined so you joined the program, you've already told us about the process of joining and all that you overcame. Now that you're in it, what's your favorite part about being a part of the group?
So part of the group, so first of all, being part of a group has always been weirdly hard for me.
Hmm.
And so I guess I always had this fear of people judging me or having a hard time being seen. And so I think that the thing that's really special about this group is that there's just this like overwhelming feeling of support and just non-judgment, that it's totally okay to show up as your unique self, if you're having a bad day or if you're having a good day, and that somebody there is going to either, you know, try to lift you up or just, you know, sit with you in that dark space, and really just offer an authentic feeling of community, which I think I've had a hard time in the past because a lot of times I feel like things are on a very superficial level.
Hmm.
Um, and so it's hard to show up as yourself and to like not be perfect and feel like
Hmm.
someone is not going to be saying something about you. But this group is the total opposite, just very supportive, very helpful in feeling like you're not alone, even when you are like a solo entrepreneur. Because that is something that's for sure scary is being totally by yourself. So I
Hmm.
think that like complete support and non-judgment and just actual community of like-minded people is so nice to have.
No, I love to hear that. I love that about this group too, as the person who's leading it, you know, and seeing it happen and this fostering of non-judgment amidst vulnerability. It is a vulnerable process
Yeah.
to be a human in general, and then layer on top of it a business owner, um, who has human emotions and human experiences and
Yeah.
ups, downs, highs, lows, you know, all of that is vulnerable. And and being able to feel safe in your joy. Because, some people don't like to show up and joy and celebrate because they don't want to brag, or like they don't want other people to get jealous. Yeah.
It's hard to do, or hard to feel like you can do it. And like I said, this group has been so nice, because when you do have something really awesome happen and you work by yourself, you have people to say like, I'm super proud of you and this is great.
I know.
And it's a really good feeling. Yeah.
And it's authentic. It's very genuine, for sure. What do you like about the program itself? Like classes, modules, what are your favorite little pieces of learning, like the learning part, the growing part?
Yeah. So, there's a lot of good things. I would say I'm going to split it into two different categories. Is that okay? So I would say, as far as like tangible, I can see this immediate next step. I would say I love the retreats that we have, where we sit down and it's like a day-long process. We're all in it together. Those are usually the tasks that I have a really hard time with personally, because I want to avoid them, like planning and financial and all that stuff that I don't love. And so being able to sit down and have everybody else working on it also, and if a question comes up, being able to have it answered in real time and not just ruminating on it for weeks, is super, super helpful for me, and really I feel like helped me to again push past those difficult things by myself. So that would be like the immediate tangible, like I know I need this and it helps me. And then I would say more on the intangible side, the thing that has a like deeper and like longer lasting effect for me would be like our one-to-one calls. I think that's where I made like most of my like mindset breakthroughs, just maybe not even while we're on the phone, but having a conversation that makes me think about things differently, or really you pulling things out of me that I'm like, I don't know. And then being able to take that conversation and kind of internalize it and really grow from that for the next several days or weeks, just kind of thinking, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much this was affecting me. And so having that internal aspect as well as that like external, like tangible piece, I think is the combination that really helps me. And so those are my two biggest, but I mean, obviously they've all been helpful. But if I had to choose two, that's my favorite.
Oh man, I love that you describe it as this external and internal. And it's so true. Like as a human first, and then a business owner second, we have an internal growth process that is literally happening whether we want it to or not, and we can resist it all we want. And we create safety for your own internal heart shift, soul shift, mind shift. That is, I always say that's the number one tool in any entrepreneur's toolbox, is what's going on in your heart and being clear on. I love how you said, I didn't even know that was affecting me. Right? Like, because it's this little weight you carry around and drag along, whether you realize it or not, and you can just slowly let it go in pieces and make business easier, and obviously make life easier too. And I love how you describe the external of the retreats, of sitting down and hashing out things that for you would be really difficult to do on your own, or you could eventually do it, but it would take weeks or months to get a skill set down or figure out whatever it is. And we just all do it together in that supportive, vulnerable space, with everything. Yeah. So beautiful. What would you say to someone who is considering taking the program? Like who do you think is a good fit? And what would you say if they're sort of on the fence?
So I would say that anybody who really dreams of having their own business, or dreams of having more of a sense of freedom in their life, really, but is really sick of spinning their wheels and trying to make it happen on their own, that this program would be an absolute like no questions asked win for you. I would say that having you, and then as well as the supportive group of like-minded people around me, has really just given me the confidence to take the next steps in my business, even when I feel like I wasn't ready, and something that I know I wouldn't have gotten there on my own. And so, yeah, anybody who has that little inkling of I think I can do this, or I think I want to do this, but really just, again, has those voices of self-doubt, this is where you get rid of your voices, or you learn to live with them, and you learn to right, you learn to communicate with them in a way where they're going to benefit your life instead of ruling your life. Yeah, it's been a total game changer for me.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, self-doubt voices are helpful when you're like thinking, should I walk in front of this car? Or, like, should I turn the stove off or not? Right? Yeah. Those are important voices to have. We don't want to get rid of them. Right. We do teach in the program how to make friends with the voices and live with them, and maybe quiet them so they're not as loud, or perhaps let them have a seat at the table and they get a voice, but not a vote, right? They get to be heard, but they're not a voting member of the board of directors, so to speak. I love that.
Yes.
Well, give us one parting thought. What would you tell, let's wrap this up. What would you tell the version of you who was existing before all of this? What would you tell her now that you know what you know?
Yeah, so we will call her Past Jackie. I refer to her a lot because it's a lot easier to see all the things I was doing that weren't helping me from the seat I'm in now. But
we love her too.
Yeah, gosh, I would say, especially the version of me who was like lurking, like,
oh, the lurker. Yeah, there you go.
Like a year ago, I was just lurking, trying to piece it together myself. I would say, just let yourself get help, ask for help and let yourself receive it, because that is the only way to grow. And I was stuck in this mindset that it was somehow more noble or better of me if I could just push through and do it myself. I was somehow like this better business owner, or I don't know. But once
you're not alone in that. That's
it's weird. I don't know why. I don't know why. It seems silly now, but yeah, I was so afraid to ask for help. And more so than that, to let myself be helped. And so I think just allowing that to happen sooner would have obviously been very helpful for me. But yeah, that would be my top bit of advice, is just ask for help when you need it, and just be open to receiving it and not feeling like you have to go it alone. Because again, that's life-changing.
It's help on a deeper level, right? You were looking for help, you were lurking, you were piecing it together. It's that next level, right, that you deserved to receive. Coming back to investment, right? That gift for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, again, I think I had this really deep-seated self-limiting belief that I somehow wasn't worth it, that I didn't deserve that, that I had to go the rough road for some reason.
Gotta be a struggle.
Yeah.
That's what makes you worthy.
Right. That is just, I needed to pull myself up by my bootstraps or something. And I think, again, a lot of it is on that, like you said, that deeper level, recognizing that you are worth helping, and you are worth receiving this help and allowing yourself to grow, because it's the only way that you will, is by letting yourself be in that vulnerable space. And if you keep pushing it out and trying to do it yourself, you might get there. It will probably take you a very long time. And that it's definitely not going to feel as good, because you're going to be missing a lot of the pieces that really make it more of blending your work in with your life versus just existing for your business. So,
oh man, you don't need to just exist.
No,
life's too short for that.
Yes,
I love it. Well, thank you for your beautiful, wise words. What a beautiful journey this has been for you. It's been an honor to walk beside you in that journey and see you grow in honestly a fairly short period of time. You know, I know you said it's like, I wish I'd started earlier, but it was perfect timing and right when you were ready to receive. So
absolutely.
So beautiful. Can't wait to see what comes for you next. We'll have to have you back so we can give an update to the world on everything.
I'm all about continued growth, so I'm gonna keep going.
Yay. All right. Well, thank you, Jackie.
Yes. Thanks for having me, Julie.